Hey everybody and welcome back to yet another episode of Fortnite. So today we're gonna be discussing the new city that is making its way into Fortnite very soon in the next couple of weeks. So essentially in today's episode I just kind of wanted to talk about the city, what it's going to be, where it's going to be located, and potential loot locations and whatnot, and kind of what I would like this city to change in the Fortnite world. So if you guys loaded up the game recently, you have probably seen this brand new message that came up, which basically said new city and points of interest coming soon. Discover a new city, an underground mine, and more in the week's update. So essentially the Fortnite guys are adding a lot more places where you can drop and loot up and hopefully get some good gear to make the game a little bit more interesting. And I kind of find this very surprising simply because it doesn't really look like they're gonna change the map or they're gonna really expand on the map. It just looks like they're gonna add a brand new city and some points of interest into the existing map, meaning they probably will modify it in a couple of places to suit this new environment, which is going to be very interesting. Obviously, we gotta talk about the scale of the city. How big is it going to be? I expect this thing to be way bigger than Pleasant Park, or maybe have the same footprint, but it's gonna have maybe some taller buildings, which is going to make it for amazing sniping spots. And it would be kind of nice to have a very big urban environment. Just imagine building ramps, for example, from one skyscraper to another. Imagine if a zone is gonna end there. I think it's gonna make up for some very interesting gameplay, especially if they bring up some of the modes like 50 versus 50 or high explosives. I think the city is going to be a fantastic location to PvP in. So we kind of have to talk about the location, because a lot of people are just gonna go, it's like surely they have to like add a landmass to accommodate for this location, but it doesn't actually look like that's going to be the case. So I have a couple of suggestions. Well, in reality I've got 3 suggestions as to where the city could be located. So first idea is near Dusty Depot, because I mean it's the center of the map, so you would kind of expect it to be in the center to draw some more people in, because a lot of the locations are kind of scattered around the edges already. For example, you've got Flash Factory, Mosty Mire, you've got Wailing Woods, Lonely Lodge, Anarchy Acres. It's all kind of around the outside perimeters of the map, so you don't have a lot of stuff going on around the middle. So I think it would be kind of a nice place to have it. But however, as you guys can see, there isn't a lot of space there. Potentially, Dusty Depot could maybe move to a different location, because I don't think it's that key, and I mean, it's in the center of the map. So it would be kind of nice if that got replaced with the new city. Obviously, we don't know the name of that city, so we have to maybe speculate in the comments down below. Maybe you guys can come up with some ideas for the name of this. But anyway, the other 2 locations that I was thinking about is one of them being, which I think could be entirely possible, being between Pleasant Park and Greasy Grove, simply because if you look on the left side of the map, and basically the way I look at it is the river just, let's say, goes down the center, and on the left you don't have a lot. I mean, the only points of interest really, which are named places, you've got Pleasant Park, Greasy Grove, and Flash Factory. I mean, all of those places are kind of amazing for loot, but apart from that, there isn't much going on over there. So I would assume there could be something that would kind of suit that location if for example it was between Pleasant Park and Greasy Grove, if you were to follow the road. So I think that would be kind of an interesting location to force a lot more people to drop to the left, because a lot of people just simply go for the right. However, there's also another location, as you guys can see, between Retail Row, Fatal Fields, Salty Springs. Obviously you've got the prison nearby, and that could kind of make for good outskirts of the city. So if you were to put the city right in the middle of that, obviously you've got some farms, you've got the Salty Springs, the Retail Row, and also you have a prison all next by. So I think that would be a really interesting place to place down the city, because I'm pretty sure right now you've got a tiny forest right there, so I'm sure the developers wouldn't mind just removing that. It kind of is up for debate as to where this is going to go exactly, but wherever the city is going to go, you know it's going to be a very very hot location. I think it's gonna serve kind of like the airfield serves in PUBG. Essentially, a lot of people go there, but you know, you're probably not gonna make it out alive unless you're a really good player. And I expect that there's maybe going to be up to 15 chests or 15 chest locations for them to spawn in that city. Because I mean, if you look at Flash Factory, for example, you've already got 9 potential chest spawns. So I think it would kind of make sense for the biggest city in the game to have up to 15 chest locations. But obviously we'll have to just wait and see for the update to drop so we can finally get our hands on this brand new city and just explore it. And let me know in the comments, guys, if you would like me to just go ahead and try and find all the secrets as soon as that update drops. So obviously they also talked about a few points of interest that are going to be scattered throughout the map. I do think they will put a little bit more emphasis on the left side of the map because, as I mentioned, there isn't a lot of stuff going on over there. They did also mention a mine system, like an underground area that you might be able to explore. It makes me kind of think that it could be potentially connected with the city. Maybe the entrance is going to be like an underground bunker or a subway station, which would be kind of incredible if you think about it. If Fortnite had a subway system potentially connecting some of the biggest cities, it would make for a very interesting choke point. But obviously I don't think that would be very practical because they would have to place a lot of points where you can enter those tunnels, simply because if the zone closes in and if you're trapped inside the tunnel, you probably won't survive going outside just to be on the surface. So somebody could be hiding underground, you're hiding above ground, and then you're stuck in the awkward situation where you can't kill each other and the zone eventually is just going to kill everybody. So that kind of also makes me think that the underground area isn't going to be too big, and I think it will have a couple of entrances, potentially up to 3, similar to what Tomato Town has with the little underpass that goes under the mountain, how it has like a long staircase going up to the surface. So I think there's gonna be a few of those, but once again, it's going to be a very interesting addition to the Fortnite map. So I'm kind of curious to see how this all is going to work out. And obviously all the other points of interest, I think they're just going to be small houses. It will be kind of nice to just have a lot more named locations, named little villages, cities, stuff like that. Because at the moment, whatever one of the named locations you drop for, there's always going to be people there, and it would be kind of nice to spread everybody out kind of more evenly and have obviously the big city, which is going to be a massive point of interest for everybody. Because I mean, hey, let's be honest, if there's, for example, 2 or 3 squads that drop for the city and you're the squad that manages to beat everybody, you're gonna be geared for the entire game with the amount of loot I expect to be there. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing any sort of like hidden secrets that they might include. Also, this could spark the discussion for potentially what the next map for Fortnite is going to be, because like I said, I don't think they will expand on the landmass in Fortnite. I think the map is going to stay the same, the shape and the size of it. I think they're just gonna change up some bits on the map currently to accommodate all of these new points of interest, because I think that's what they have to do. Because if they make the map bigger, it's not really solving any issues that the Fortnite map could have currently, since they basically keep it the same, but they add a whole new mass and they make a massive bet being like, hey, this is where the players are going to go from now on. But obviously, the addition of this map is going to change up the gameplay of Fortnite massively, depending on how much, obviously, loot they're gonna drop in that city. Maybe potential 4 chest spawns in some of the city locations, which would be an amazing kind of risk-reward type of thing going on. So I'll be very curious to see what's going to happen with that. But anyway, guys, that is gonna do it for this speculation video. Let me know in the comments down below what you think this city is going to be called. Maybe come up with some cool ideas for the names. And also, what sort of stuff would you like to see? Is there anything that you'd like me to cover that I have missed in this video? Just let me know in the comments down below. And as always, if you guys enjoyed this and would like to see more of these types of videos, then just let me know. And also, support me by leaving a like on this video and subscribe if you're new to the channel for plenty more Fortnite content. But anyway, guys, I hope you're gonna have a wonderful day, and thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care, goodbye. Bye.